This tutorial is about 45-degree folds, so here's an example. You use two pieces that are each two 45-degree folds, and they're used to raise a piece vertically above the central spine of the spread. There's an example here, Pop-Up Book of Nursery Rhymes by Matthew Reinhardt, and in this spread you can see here, inside here, there are two 45-degree folds that are used to raise the central pillar that holds up this square spread, and that's actually hiding a V-fold that's underneath it. But the main point in this tutorial is the two 45-degree folds. There's another example here. This is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by Robert Sabuda, and in the final spread, the pillar that holds up the throne, if you look at it underneath here, there are two 45-degree folds. So that's the main use of this mechanism. So this is another way of making the 45-degree fold. This is using slots, which is in tutorial 11. Take two pieces of card. They've both got a crease along the bottom, a gluing tab. Put them, reverse them round. This is classic slots, the way you make slots. So they're put together like this, and then you cut up to the middle, two cuts about 2 millimeters apart, 3 millimeters apart, just so the two pieces will easily interlock. This one can stick down to the spine, flush with the spine. This one will come down on top of it and interlock with it. But before we do that, we need to add the 45-degree folds. So 45-degree fold is very easy. Where you've got a right angle, you just fold the two edges up against each other. So there's one side, crease it really well. So here I folded one 45-degree fold, and then you fold the crease up against the line. So that's dividing the right angle into two 45-degree folds. There it is, crease it well. And now we stick this one down, flush with the spine. I'll just take these corners off here. There's that one. The other piece, these are going to stick down, the two tabs are going to stick down at right angles to the spine. Probably to give it some balance, we can put one each way. Again, I'll make sure these creases are really good. Snip off the corners just so there's no points that are going to snag. You can stick both these down at the same time. I'll put glue on the opposite sides as they're going to face in opposite directions. Smear the glue right up to the crease. Looks about right, and then just fold it down to make sure it's all working comfortably. So there it is, that's another way of doing it. And then having built this, you can actually take other pieces and just stick them on, so you can start constructing some sort of tree or flower or whatever you want to make really. You can stick pieces onto these. You've also got two gullies that you can build into, so I'll just stick these on. As it closes, you'll see this is a gully that's closing and this is a gully that's closing. So both of those you can add counterfolded strips to. So if we take a piece like this, crease it well, fold an extra pair of creases into it. So in tutorial 8 we looked at counterfolding pieces. So you can take small pieces like this and you can just stick them into these two gullies created by the main mechanism. So I'll just stick one of these in. And then any of these planes that have been created, you can carry on building on those. So I'll just make sure this closes down okay. Let's just trim it back a bit. So there it is, and you can just keep building, adding extra pieces onto these to create whatever sort of sculpture you're interested in making. Here's another piece. Come on out like this. Any of these planes can be built on. I'll just show you another example. This is One Red Dot by David Carter, and at the back here he's made a tree using this technique. If you look at these two planes, this is the mechanism. You can see that these are 45-degree folds on each side on these two. These other ones are coming in at a different angle, so the creases have been adjusted. And then you can also use it for things like this. This is using the same idea. This is a bridge. So these are the two 45-degree folds. They're pulling up the whole mechanism. You have to have two. They work in opposition to each other. In this case, you can see you've got to have some balance. So the top of this bridge piece, A, is the same length as between the spine and where it sticks down. And on the other side, B is the same length there, so that you've got balance. And the last thing I'd like to show you is this one. This is using the same technique as we used here, where you've got interlocking pieces, but the whole middle section has been cut out. So here we've got this dragon. Again, if you look at it straight on from above, you can see that two of the feet are stuck down parallel with the spine, and the other 2 feet are stuck down at 90 degrees to the spine. And in each case there are these creases on these 2 legs. Those are the 45-degree folds. And then these, the head and the tail, these are counterfolded pieces looked at in tutorial 8. And you can find out a bit more about 45-degree folds in this, my book, Pop-Up Design and Paper Mechanics.